Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Baldy Does. Today on Baldy Does, I'm going to install some rear mud flaps on the 2021 Mazda CX-5. Um, Unfortunately, we can't do the front mud flaps because it is a little cold here in Florida. I know it's kind of crazy, so that will be another episode. The manual does say do not apply the adhesive under 59 degrees. Unfortunately, it's currently 44. I'm a little bit cold here in the shade, but I promise you in the sun it's a lot warmer. Um, Pull up a chair, sit back, and let's go put some mud flaps on. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So here you can clearly see the area that our mud flap's going to go into. Um, you're going to end up cutting this out as well as the side piece. Same goes for here and here as well. So we're going to go ahead and start off by taking this out. I like to just use a little flathead. It says to make sure you don't scratch the plastic and everything. It takes a lot to actually scratch those. So you can get away with a little tiny flathead if you have one, kind of like an eyeglass kit. Next, we're just going to take our razor blade here, cut that bottom part, cut that top part, and then just pop it out. So that's gone. Okay, so just giving you more of a close-up on what we're actually doing here. So all we're doing is cutting the very bottom of that and the very top of it. And once you do that, you can just pop it out, or maybe it fell into the bumper. It doesn't matter. Now, if you're going off of the Mazda instruction sheet, it'll tell you to cut this a little bit later on. I'm going to go ahead and just cut it now. A little bit harder to do one-handed. But yeah. And then make sure that it is flush, because that is where you're going to be putting a little nut. And if you're using a razor blade, obviously you can just go in there and trim it. Okay guys, so now once you're underneath the car and you've got those slots on the front side cut out, we're going to go ahead and do some work down here. So the first thing we're going to do is take out this bolt here. This is an 8mm. So this is not going to get reused. We're going to use our included kit when that time comes. The next thing we're going to do is install one of these right here where this hole is. And these just kind of push on there. So there we go. All right, now that that's done, we'll go back up here to the top side, or the back side, I guess I should say, of the bumper, and install the two clips there and go ahead and put the mud flap on. Okay guys, so now that we're done with the bottom side, we're going to go ahead and go back up here to the top. We're going to go ahead and put these two clips on, super easy, and then put this one back in. So you can see I've already got one clip on. Flat side goes towards the front and the nut side goes towards the back. It's the exact same thing that we used down here. So these are pretty easy. Now that you've got those cut out, you just kind of align it and then pinch it and it goes right in, no problem. Now we're going to go ahead, take our clip, slide the clip back in there, push it in, and we're done with that. So now let's go ahead and get our mud flap. So the mud flap goes on pretty easily. Take your bolts, align them into the bolt clip, thread it in just a little bit. Don't go too crazy with it because you do want to be able to align this. So now that we've got that on there, let's go ahead and go back down to the bottom and do the bolt and, well, the two bolts that go down there now. Okay guys, now that we're underneath the car, we're quite literally just going to put these two bolts in. One of them is the threader bolt, as Mazda calls it, which would be this one here, and the inside one is just the regular bolt that has the thread lock already on it. So you're just going to tighten these up, and then you're pretty much done. You'll move back to the front, tighten those up, and you'll be good to go. Let me give you a quick look. Your goal is to try and get this as lined up as possible. You can see mine's almost perfect, not quite. And then you're done. You now have rear mud flaps.